Hi, I'm Clay Allison from Wicked Edge. What I've got in my hand is a Reeves Sebenza from a customer, Michael Chan, who's an active member on Blade Forums. He sent us this knife yesterday to see if we can restore the beautiful convex edge on it. This is one of my all-time favorite knives. I love basically all of Reeves' products, and the Sebenza is just the pinnacle of a pocket knife in my opinion. Every detail is attended to perfectly, the materials, the workmanship, it's just awesome. I love this thing. So, of course, when you have a knife that's this nice, you want to really take excellent care of it, and the Wicked Edge is a great tool for that. When they come from the factory, they've got a slightly convex edge, and that's hard for a lot of people to work with. So I'm going to show on the Wicked Edge just how easy it is to restore a convex edge from scratch. This knife had been sharpened before, and the convex edge had been ground flat, and there was actually some multifaceting along the bevel. So with the Wicked Edge, we can erase all that multifaceting and rebuild the edge completely convex. You have a beautiful polish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in the clamp, but I'm going to use this tool called the alignment guide and this other tool called the depth key that work together to help me position the knife accurately and precisely, and most importantly repeatedly in the exact same location every time. So I worked a little bit on this knife earlier today, just flattening out the bevels, and I found that the perfect location for it was right here, which on my alignment guide is A1/2, and so I just aligned the tip to that mark, and then I snug up the clamp on it, and it's ready to go. I found that location by using a trick with a Sharpie marker, and what I did was I colored in the bevel just like this, straight down the bevel. If you go straight from the top down, you can get the entire bevel without having to try and paint it and worry if you've got overlap onto the shoulders. It's a very easy technique. And I just watched how the stone removed the marker, and what I'm concerned with is making sure that it's removing the marker just on the edge here and the same amount of marker back here towards the heel as towards the tip. What I don't want to do is have it start at the edge here and then curve in to the shoulder, because what that would cause is a much wider bevel along the tip, this curvature, and especially towards the tip. And that would happen for two reasons. The first reason would be that you're getting into the thicker stock of the metal as you approach the spine. But the second reason is that if the blade is too far forward, you'll actually experience some angle change out towards the tip. So by using the Sharpie to find the optimum position for the blade, and then by using this tool here, the alignment guide, to record that position, I can be sure every single time I go back to touch up this knife, it's in the exact same position, and I'm just picking up where I left off last time. So that's a quick, easy tip to help you find the right positioning of your blades, especially when they've got some curvature. So now I'm going to set these degree markings to 17 degrees per side. Ultimately, this knife is going to have a 20-degree final bevel, but when I'm creating the convex edge, what I first want to do is create a back bevel at the lowest degree where I want my curvature to start. So I just start like this, and I polish out this bevel here at 17 degrees, and you can probably see the markers just disappearing as I go. Work on both sides. And I can just alternate like this, flip over to a finer stone, and continue the polishing process. And I can use a nice little scrubbing motion like this when I'm doing the polishing. Later at the end, when I want to lay in a specific scratch pattern, let's say if I want to go from the heel to the tip, or from the tip to the heel, I can lay in a specific scratch pattern in any direction. But as I'm just polishing and removing scratches from the previous stones, I can kind of do this scrubbing motion real gently. Alright, so now we've got our back bevel at 17 degrees created. The next step in creating the convex edge is to move these collars out to the position of the final edge, which in this case is going to be 20 degrees. So the very, very edge of the edge is going to be a 20-degree bevel. And all I'm going to do here is just create a small micro bevel, and it's really easy to do. Just set these in position at 20 degrees, work on one side for a moment, and that micro bevel is formed really quickly. I know that it's going to happen. Very bevel at 17 degrees. Very bevel at 17 degrees is already reaching the edge, so this micro bevel should form almost instantaneously, and I can quickly detect a burr just doing that. So now I'll do it on the other side as well. And again, a burr should form here really quickly because I already know that my 17 degree bevel was hitting the edge. And sure enough, there's a burr all the way along the length of the blade, from the heel all the way out to the tip. Okay, so much for that. Our final bevel at 20 degrees has been created. And now I start just stepping in. So I'm going to go from 20 degrees to 19 degrees. I move both collars in really quickly. And I just do a little bit of work here. And what I'm doing right now is creating a second little facet or bevel. So now we've got a 17, a 20, and we're coming back in at 19. And this series of facets are going to blend together really seamlessly in just a minute here. So now I've created my 19 degree. I slide this in again to 18 degrees. And then back to 17 degrees. Now the increments are so fine that those little facets are tiny and they're almost already blended together. But I can make that process go a lot more quickly and be a lot smoother if I throw on some of these leather strops. So before I do the strops, I'm going to clean the blade off and make sure there's not any metal filings on the blade because I don't want to get those on my strops. And the leather is soft enough that it's going to conform around each of those little facets, and it's going to gradually draw them together to make one continuous arc. And surprisingly, this happens very quickly. So I've got my strops on and I'm at 17 degrees and I just begin working like this. These strops are charged with a little bit of diamond paste, which does a great job of one, polishing, and of two, removing a little bit of metal to help me blend my facets together into one continuous curve. Okay, and I'm going to take a look under the magnifying glass here and see what the edge is looking like. Okay, at this point, you can't not even detect any facets along the edge. So you've just got one smooth, continuous curvature. So I'm going to clean this off, and I'm going to flip my strops around to get to the other side, which has a slightly finer paste on it. And I'll continue the process of stropping and polishing. Right now I'm using a paste that is charged with 10 micron diamonds. And we can go down very, very, very far in terms of how fine the diamonds are. Currently we offer stropping compounds down to 0.025 microns, which is equivalent to 25 nanometers and not visible to even an optical microscope. You'd have to use an electron microscope to see the scratches of 0.025 microns. But that's overkill for this knife. We'll probably stop at 3.5 microns. Right now I'm on 10 microns. And if the camera zoomed in, you can probably see just a super reflective, highly polished edge. Maybe shine a little bit of light here so you can see the reflectivity of it. Okay, so I'll keep working these for a minute. pull them off. Clean the blade off once again. I always clean the blade in between each strop because I don't want to cross-contaminate the grit from one to the other. And because the diamonds are suspended in a paste, it's pretty easy to have that happen. So you always want to keep like side facing like side when you store them, and you always want to clean the blade in between each step of the strops. So now I'm on to the 5 microns. And this goes really quickly. Clean it off again and switch to the 3.5 microns. Okay, and that's how quickly we can recreate or rebuild an edge to a really beautiful convex geometry when the bevels had been flattened out before. And this is just looking terrific. See if you can see you can see the mirror polish there, the magnifying glass being reflected back in the bevel. So basically, in a nutshell, then what we've done is we've taken the Sebenza, we flattened out the bevels and made a perfect 17-degree bevel on each side, and then we went back and we created a 20 degree, a 19, an 18, and then a 17 again, series of facets, and then we used the strops to quickly blend those together to give us a perfect convex edge and a mirror finish. So this thing is just screaming sharp right now, and it's absolutely beautiful.